The power of the word. Do you know what that means? I don't ever hear anybody talk about it, but I can tell you what it means to me. Sometimes a person do something and it's done long gone in the past. It's over. It ain't gonna be resurrected. It's done. And maybe even everyone else involved moved on and they're fine. But maybe you're still feeling bad about it. Why? Maybe you thought you should have known better. But what good does that thought do you? Oh, I should have known better. Well, obviously you didn't. Because otherwise you wouldn't have done it. But it's done now. Some people, they just dwell in that feeling because they don't know what to do. The power of the word. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking about the power of the voice and imagination. Some people say, there's no power in that. That is an expression of their power. There's no power in that. Whoop, they just cast it aside. The power of the voice and imagination. There's no power in that. Just like that. They're not open to it, even though they're exercising their power all the time anyway. There are people utilizing their power, not knowing that they are. So what do you do if you're feeling bad about something that's long gone and done and over, and you're the only one that hadn't moved on? I release this. As you know, some people don't actually know what forgiveness means. Basically, how I think of it, forgiveness means I don't have to feel bad about this. I don't have to be bitter or angry or judgmental, condemning towards somebody. What good does it do me to be that way? Now, what good does it do me to release that? I release that. I forgive them. Feel better. Same sort of thing. If you're sitting there and you're like, I'll never have friends. You know, even if somebody that could be a great friend was standing right in front of you, you wouldn't know it. So you couldn't see him because you used your power to shield yourself from any outside possibility. I'll never have friends. Whoa. You just put up that shield. Just used your power to make your life more closed in. Do you know what happens with some people? They keep closing themselves in further and further and further. So what do you do instead? Turn that light around. I'll never have friends. I am the very essence of all that I desire. All of a sudden, I feel a little bit better. You know, some people wouldn't dare say that. I am the very essence of all that I desire. Why not? What do you have to lose from saying, I am the very essence of all that I desire? Some might say, well, it's stupid. Well, damn, look at you and your happy misery. At that point, I'm not going to try to force them, because free will is a choice. And I want to help, yeah. But if I offer them a helpful notion, something that not only worked for me, but I've seen work for others, and they just drop it to the floor, what am I going to do about that? to each their own. If someone loves their chains, let them have them. So what would happen if you took those chains from them without their permission? They might scream. Some people need a little bit of weight to hold them down. So otherwise they might float off into the atmosphere. Something like that. And here, there was a while back, a lot, more than a lot of people thought I had gone completely off the whirly gig. They thought I went to hyperspace with no return button. But then they started saying, "You're so coherent now." Multiple people said that. Who says that? Who says that? "You're so coherent now." Multiple people said that. Not just 2 or 3. "You're so coherent now." What is that? And it's kind of a backhanded thing to say, but they're just so astonished. They had given up hope that I was ever coming back. They were like, "Yep, he's fucked. Yep. Oh well." They didn't move on with their life. And then they're like pleasantly surprised that I had come to awareness. "You're so coherent now." Yeah. What, you thought people don't change? Look at you go. So how did I get here? The power of the word. I was using my words and my imagination to guide my mind where I wanted it to go. How do you do that? Anytime you get a feeling or a thought of something that you don't like, turn that light around. I feel like the color of the walls is pressing upon my soul. I am the god of the color of this wall. Did you feel that? Now, most people will get one or two different feelings when they hear what I just said. I am the god of the color of this wall. One kind of person will say, "Oh, that sounds crazy." Bam, they just put up that wall. They close themselves off. And at that point, I could say damn near anything. They're done with it. They done given up hope on any good notion of it. And they gonna move about their way, their miserable, happy way. But I ain't gonna try to force them, because apparently they love their chains. And if those chains are what they want, I want them to have what they want. The other kind of person would pay closer attention to the way they felt when I said, I am the god of the color of this wall. Sounds silly, but a little bit of silliness helps. It's outside the bounds of normality. It's outside the norm. And you can feel those things. A lot of people stay bound in normality. And they keep themselves there because they have a fear of the unknown. Unknown what? It is unknown to them what it is like to be outside the bounds of normality. And a lot of people are taught to fear the unknown. Well, let me tell you something. I have been all over the place. There ain't nothing to fear of the unknown. What we got going on here in what they call the 3D and far beyond and behind the atoms. It's a lot better of a system than you want to think. We still have a lot of, choice here in what they call the 3D. And a lot of people use their power of voice and imagination to get over on people that don't know any better, because ignorance is the parent of what they call evil. Ignorance is a slave, and knowledge is freedom. But there's a lot of people, they only feel powerful when they see somebody squirming, shrunken in the corner. When they see working class people giving up on their hopes and dreams just so that they can put a sandwich in front of their kids. You know what I'm saying here? Hope this makes sense. Because it makes sense to me. 11:11. I'm in heaven. How about you? You know what I say? The reason for my handle on my YouTube channel. Hades is only the shady side of Paradiso, beloved. If angels can fall, can devils and demons rise? Well, they need to. All they have to do, step out of the shadows, into the light. I say, the Bible is unfit for paradise on earth. Some people would want to fight me on that. There you go. Doesn't it say, love thy neighbor? Doesn't it say, judge not lest ye be judged? I'm not surprised so many people are confused. We don't talk like that. People only argue and fight over the Bible in the shady side of Paradiso, beloved. Is that to say that the 3D, as they call it, is heaven? No. It's just one piece of it. There is a lot more out there. How did I find out? The power of the word. Good job. I'm so glad you're paying attention. Banana sticker.